Welcome to Deep Thought. 1 second can change your life. 1 second. And you know what? Y'all know on this channel, sometimes I'm going to talk about something again and again and again. That's just how it is. And I've talked about how one moment, one choice can change everything for you. Because you make a decision. Because everything in life is ultimately a choice. A lot of people think, oh, I can't help what happened. No, you choose how you react to everything. You choose, you know? Like if somebody does something to you, you still have a choice how you're going to respond. You know, somebody attack you physically, you can sit there and allow yourself to get your ass whipped. You know, or you could fight back, still get your ass whipped. You know, you can run. Or you could say, you know what, you got me the wrong day and beat the shit out of somebody. You know, but you have a choice. And for every choice, there is a consequence. Sometimes it's a good one, sometimes it's a bad one. 1 second, one choice could change a whole lot. You know? I could have chosen not to record this at the time that I did. Because I don't usually do podcast recording very early in the morning. The only thing I do is the videos, like the live videos on my men's channel early in the morning. But I don't usually do podcasts like the audio recordings early. But I made a choice to do that today. For all the podcasts I did this week on this channel, I did them in the morning before going to the gym. Now, what does that do? That frees up the rest of my day. To do some other things, to work on some loose things that I need to work on. Boom. So that set a course. And then by making a decision to record all of my videos for the next week in 2 days, you know, videos and audios, that really frees up the rest of the week. Okay, so I can start working. I can start looking into some other things. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. And I'm going to tell you how powerful that is. Think about it. Your whole life could change. How you respond to something. You know, say it's a breakup. That's a common thing. Okay, you know, who you thought was the love of your life break up from you. Now, you can make the choice to, in 1 second, you can say, you know what, this is terrible. And it leads you down a path where it's just a bunch of negative stuff happening. Or you could say, you know what, this might be a good thing. And boom, you go on another path. Like every choice, like you can choose to drive down. You driving and you say, you know what, last second, instead of taking the usual path, you take another path somewhere. And then you see some things in places that you didn't know was there. I do that a lot. If I have to take the same exact path to whatever, I'll do that. But sometimes I'll just change up. I'll change up. You know, I'll take a different path, a longer way, check out something. And then I find out some new things. I get a different perspective on something. And it took 1 second to make that choice. And that can lead to greater things. Now, I did some videos before talking about, you know, in science fiction, they talk about parallel universes. You know, that's a science fiction staple. Think about it. These universes always get changed because of one single choice. Think about the history of the world. If, you know, how different it had been changed. If certain men and women who made stuff that actually created a course made different decisions, you know? What if certain politicians said, hey, I'm not going to run for office? Or what if certain dictators say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to work on this artwork, you know? Think about how many lives are created. If you just decided to do something differently on a certain time. You know, I think about, my co-parent and my 2 sons. They might not have been born if I didn't make a certain choice at a certain time. There was a definite crossroads. And if there was a certain choice made, they wouldn't exist. Think about how many lives do not exist because who might not have existed if the parents just taken a different thing, didn't go to the party that night, didn't run into someone. There was a science fiction story about that, right? Science fiction story about that. It was this boy, right? A young man. He had always heard this story about like this bank robbery, right? And it got on his nerves, this bank robbery. And he actually went back in time and prevented the bank robbery from happening because he didn't like the story. He prevented it from happening. He went back in time, went to the bank teller, gave him a note, say, hey, this person's going to come in to rob this bank. And I think it was because his father had worked at the bank, was like a security guard or something, right? Or something at the bank. I forgot what it was exactly. I don't remember the exact details, every little thing, but just the general premise. All right, so he went back. He prevented the bank robbery from happening. All right, so then when he came back to the future, he ceased to exist. Why did he? Because what wasn't told to him in the story was that was where his father met his mother. His mother was a reporter. When the bank was robbed, she came out to the bank to interview some people, and that's how the parents met. I want y'all to think about that. Think about so many things. It could have been just something small, or you could have just said something at the right moment. Think about how many times. I think about the gym I'm working at. I work out at, right? My main gym. Why am I there? They sent a card in the mail, and I saw it, and it was at a time I was just like a little tired of my gym. And I just happened to go up there and hadn't thought about the gym at first. I knew it existed, but I never had a reason to really check it out. I checked it out, boom. After I finished recording this and setting this up, that's where I'm headed. One moment. But then I think about the people I've met at the gym, the friends and everything, acquaintances, and, how it's helped me personally. And it was just 1 second. 1 second can create it. Understand that. And understand just the power of choice. I want y'all to really think about that. Think about it. And take responsibility for it. Because how many lives, what would the history of the world be if certain choices weren't made at critical moments? Think about it. 1 second. So, and you don't have to go that deep. Just think about the times in your life where you just made a decision at one moment and it put you on a certain path. I'll end it with this. The reason that you're hearing this podcast now, reason you talk, I got the YouTube channels and all the other stuff. It was a simple decision to respond to a comment on a friend of mine's Facebook thread. All I did was it was just a simple comment. But then this young lady whose music I use for the openings, most of the openings and closing of my videos, most of them, it's like the kind of a jazzy background. A lot of people prefer to what I use sometimes. But all I did was just respond to a comment. She said, hey, you got to come on my radio show. She had an internet radio show. So I went on an internet radio show. I just talk what I usually talk. The owner of the internet radio station, he called me up, and I already knew him. He got my number. He called me up. He wouldn't let me off the phone until I decided to do some shows for him. He wouldn't let me off the phone. He said, no, you got to. You have to. I'm not letting you off the phone. Now, of course, I could have hung up or something, but in that second, I said, no, let me just go for it. And that led to this. That's how powerful it is, all right? So 1 second can change your life. So anyway, that's all I have for now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.